Hey y'all, Doom Eternal is a fun game. What's up, people? My name is Rytro with an underscore. I'm a speedrunner and a moderator for the Doom Eternal leaderboard. If you ever watched a speedrun of Doom Eternal before, you'll know that restricted rule set runs have a lot of combat. A lot of it looks like fast casual play, however, there is a lot of nuance that goes into executing and performing combat. A metric fuck ton. This video plans to go over all the combat tech, the ones speedrunners do every encounter to the pointless ones speedrunners never do, though might do in the future. But before we get to the strats, let's take a message from our sponsor, Thermodynamics. Don't worry if you're not too hot in thermodynamics. By the second law, you'll be cool with it in no time. Ludwig Boltzmann, who spent much of his life studying statistical mechanics, died in 1906 by his own hand. Paul Ehrenfest, carrying on his work, died similarly in 1933. Now, it turns to our study of thermodynamics. We should perhaps approach this cautiously. So what can thermodynamics offer you? A cold heat death. Thermodynamics is a system that you're forced to enroll with, and just by giving them a small bit of your energy, you're increasing the entropy of the universe. Dying cold while waiting for the heat death has never been so easy. To sign up today, simply just exist. Here are the basic strats. Hot swapping is an inbuilt mechanic of the game where you can bypass reload times of several weapons by simply swapping to other ones. You can increase your DPS after firing the super shotgun by simply swapping to something else and shooting. The variation called dead swapping, where you just swap to another weapon and back, which is faster than just holding the fire button. Weapons with an explicit cooldown like the precision bolt shot from the heavy cannon are completely removed when swapping back and forth with another weapon. This is also improved by the game's buffer system. If you are swapping to a weapon, you can hold the fire button and have the weapon shoot on the first possible frame. Punch swapping is the process of bypassing cooldown time of weapons by, well, punching. Obviously, you can't just shoot, punch. That'd be too easy. Take, for example, the precision bolt. When you punch cancel it, first you scope in, fire a shot with left click, punch, hit the heavy cannon weapon key, and your cooldown is simply reset. Animation canceling is the catch-all term for bypassing other common animations. The BFG cooldown animation can be cut short by chainsawing or pulling out the crucible. The crucible itself can have its swing slash canceled. This can be done by aiming close to a demon's hitbox, but not at it. And this kills the demon without skipping the animation. For certain crucible targets, like swapping to another weapon mid-swing, will destroy the object, but keep the crucible charge. Like the Doom Hunter sled, Eyes of Kalibas, and even the Khan Maker phases. So the Destroyer Blade is a super powerful mod for the Ballista, where you send a plasma wave that hits everything in your path. To combat this high amount of damage, the Slayer's speed is reduced dramatically while charging. However, this takes place only when the Slayer is on the ground. Thus, if you start charging the D-Blade while in the air, and bunny hop as soon as you hit the ground, you keep your speed while charging. Bunnies would make great speedrunners, wouldn't they? The rocket launcher itself has a lot of tech used throughout the runs. The Sylar lock-on burst, we just call it slobbing, is a tech that allows lock-on burst to come out at a faster rate than usual. To do this, you'll need to fire a shot of a weapon that's not the rocket launcher. After that, hot swap to the rocket launcher, buffer a rocket shot. Then, immediately hold the weapon mod button to prep a lock-on. This lock-on animation is noticeably faster, and the lock-on rockets fire faster as well. If you have the dual lock mastery, you can actually fire rockets faster, and I kinda lied. You kinda don't need to set it up with a shot beforehand, but that's nuanced, and let's just move on. Lock-on canceling is canceling the brief period of inactivity after you fire a lock-on burst. Most basic version of this is when you unlock both weapon mods for rocket launchers, simply swap mods after the lock-on burst ends. You can then swap to any weapon you wish. All without swapping to the remote detonation mod, which is kinda bad. You can also mod swap cancel a lot of other things, like the sticky bombs, for example. Did I mention how great this game's AI pathing is? if an enemy enters an area where it has no pathing, the game has a failsafe where it kills the demon after a small delay in time. Speedrunners most notably use this to kill the Caco demon in Exultia early, as well, sometimes just making for comedic moments. Spawn blocks, or also known as Telefragging, happens when an enemy is prevented from spawning in. This can be done in scenarios where another enemy is over the spawn location of another enemy, preventing it from spawning in. In some circumstances, this can be done with the Doomslayer's model by standing over the spawn point. The Bloodmaker is a ranged Marauder that we want to give us the green flash right away, so that we can headshot it and just move on. So instead of waiting for the game to get its head out of its ass, we can manipulate the makers to give us an opening right when they spawn. Every spawn in the game has a specific manipulation, but generally, being in a corner causes the Bloodmaker to open up earlier. If you don't have a corner, getting in close and baiting a melee attack from the Maker causes it to open up after another attack. Marauders are a speedrunner's worst, very bad dream, and we have many strats to deal with them, all of which I'll go over briefly. The Ice Bomb Marauder strat messes with the Marauder's priority. The Marauder always prioritizes blocking the Ice Bomb to give the illusion of it blocking the freeze effect. While blocking the Ice Bomb, we just lock it on to death. Yeah, needless to say, this glitch was too powerful. It was patched out on the second patch of the game. For runs on more current patches, we have to get creative. The Fun Zone is a spot you can stand in to make the Marauder instantly give you the green eye flash.
We tried to shore that up, to make it, to hold the player accountable, to not let them out of the fun zone. You know, the fun zone is managing resources, it's doing all these different things, it's thinking constantly, it's using the right tool for the job.
Yeah, including Marauders to the fun zone was a humongous mistake. In case you're wondering, there are plenty of ways to deal with Marauders to kill them nearly instantly. All these cool 0 and 1 cycles, I'll give a quick flash right now. Fun fact, when the Marauder's at certain HP values, they will always stagger to Ballista splash damage. The Marauder can sometimes jump over death planes, and if you meat hook onto the Marauder, they stop in motion. Put the two of these together, yeah, you know what I mean. The Marauder sometimes jumps in from a wall portal, and if you put your energy shield against the wall, they can't jump through you. And since they have no pathing, they too eventually die, like all things in this cold universe. Bloodshots, also known as Demon Bangs, are because Marauder can't block a hit scan shot if it is fired through another demon. This also applies to the Dark Lord, which makes sense because they're practically King Marauder. The energy shield is just weird. Stone Imps in Tag 2 are not only weak to full auto, they're also weak to the energy shield. They die in one bash, most likely due to them sharing similarities with regular Imps, who also die in one bash. Energy Shield Vacation allows you to have the energy shield open while having another weapon out too, and not taking this gun to the beach. To do this, hold the energy shield out, melee, then swap to any weapon. This strat isn't too useful, mainly just because it modifies the Doomslayer's hitbox to be way bigger after doing it, meaning that you'll take more damage as enemies will hit you more often. Woohoo, the big boy combat strats. Yeet blasting is when the game confuses the primary fire of the plasma rifle for the heat blast mod fire. Simply charge heat blast, start firing the plasma rifle. Fire about 8-ish shots, keeping holding down the fire button as you swap weapons. During the swap animation, hit the heat blast button nearly immediately. This will fire the heat blast at the rate of the plasma rifle up until your other weapon comes out. This can be done a maximum of 4 times. This can melt a few early game enemies, but requires too much setup to be done in the late game. Also, every plasma rifle shot is one potential ballista boost taken away. The plasma rifle is the only weapon to have this funky property. If you constantly single click, it will fire as fast as you can click. So, binds the fire key to scroll wheel and you can fire the plasma rifle at a highly increased rate of fire. This is basically baby IDKFA. Don't know what IDKFA is? Check out my previous video. BAT stands for the Bring Up Animation Transfer Swapping. Weapons in this game have separate bring out speeds, notably the heavy cannon being the fastest and rocket launcher being the slowest. So if you mod swap on the heavy cannon and swap to a new weapon, that new weapon has the fastest swap animation. This can make weapon combos really fast. Bats can also be applied during a mantle animation or a monkey bar animation. It also makes punch boosts faster, so punch canceling is tied to the bring up animation. Bats will stop after you normal swap out of the weapon. So, have fun, bats man. The most complicated trick that has bugged us for forever. Fast Destroyer Blade. This allows you to charge the Destroyer Blade almost instantly, but it's not used in speedruns too much due to the setup. Mod swap to the heavy cannon, swap to Arbalist while buffering an alternate fire, charging the Arbalist, hit a demon with the Arbalist, then release the alternate fire key. After which, when you swap to the Destroyer Blade and charge it, its rate is greatly increased. This trick is probably useful in casual play, but due to the fact speedrunners need to conserve ballista for boosts, and it requires the demon to be hit by the Arbalist, we don't use it much. So much research for so little gain. Oh, this is a fun one. This is a fun one. Okay, the Bulldozer is with the energy shield, and you get the bash animation from the energy shield when you're swapping weapons. Simply pull up the weapon wheel. After you fully in time slow, hold your mod button and swap to the chain gun with the energy shield equipped. Release the mod button after the chain gun is fully swapped to. Swap to any other weapon and hold the mod button. Next thing we want to do is dash at an enemy and immediately swap to the chain gun and watch things get deleted. Oh, can I mention that this trick is FPS dependent, so if you have Chrono Strike up and get more frames because of time slow, you can kill anything? This game deserves less IDKFA glitches, but yet we have them. Whoa, hey y'all, thank you for watching the video. Shoutouts to Sylar, Bryo, DrakePHOSE, and all the other strat finders for documenting these strats. Again, links to all these strats are in the description. Wow, this video is way shorter than I thought it would be. However, there's just a lot of tech that has like a 2-sentence description, but happy to share. Fun fact, people, I do speedrun sometimes. Doom Eternal, Ghost Runner, Shadow Warrior 3, sometimes something else. Twitch.tv/Rytro_, where I perform them. Catch me live, or don't. I'm not your mother.